Good morning and good afternoon wherever you are in the world. This is Miss Maggie T with another daily dose of inspiration at Lush Exchange. And of course, if you're new to the channel, I want you to hit that subscribe button so you won't miss another post from me. But I definitely want to go ahead and get into a little something that we all tend to forget to do. And that is resetting your mind. Pretty much a mental health check. A lot of times we just are in the hustle and bustle of the everyday life that we don't sit down and take a break. You need that mental break. I know I do. I'm going and going and going, and I can't sometimes seem to even take a nap because my mind is moving and racing. So let me start you off with the quote. Reset, readjust, restart, refocus as many times as you need to. Because some of us need a reminder. It's okay to just always want to work hard. You're a hustler. I get that. But sometime out of your day, you need to at least take a mental brain break. So I'm going to get into some ways to reset your mind and body. Because you need that. You have to refresh yourself. You definitely do. Or if not, you're just going to overexert yourself and be extremely exhausted about things. And some things may not go out the right way that you want it to be because you're not in your right mind. Our bodies work like a symphony. And isn't that beautiful? When everything is in balance, there is a synergy that occurs between our mind and body. Our body is our unconscious mind and cannot decipher the difference between stressors in our lives. Therefore, if our mind informs our body, we need to take control of our mind and be the best conductor of our symphony. When is the last time you looked at your daily habits, chronic pain, or evaluated your relationships? We tend to put these items off in the far distance and hope they will adjust on their own. The problem is, they won't. My hope for you after reading this, message to you guys is to manifest the best version of yourself through tactful ways to reset your mind and body. To be in a constant state of observation, fearless of change, and excited to find meaning through positive life choices. And all that to say, here are some proven ways to reset your mind and body. Number 1, sleep. Sleep is paramount. It is the most important thing you can do for yourself. When we don't get enough of it, we tend to offshoot it with a quick fix to get us through the day, like caffeine. The problem with this regimen is our body legitimately needs rest, and deep rest at that, to function, heal, and operate at its most optimal. During sleep, our bodies recalibrate. I love that visual. Every night, our body gives us a second chance at a fresh, new day. Our immune system uses our REM cycle, or deep sleep, to make this hard reset. Sometimes it will crash for you. Whether you are sick, stressed, or anxious, our bodies use this time to find some type of balance. When we don't get enough sleep, our stress hormone, cortisol, increases and triggers our sympathetic nervous system, or fight or flight mode. When cortisol levels build up, it wreaks shop on the mind and body, which can cause additional stress or more serious health concerns like hypertension, something I deal with all the time as I've gotten older. And it's a common thing in the African American community. Definitely. It's common to a lot of people, but definitely in how we eat the things we're not supposed to be eating, etc. We don't exercise. There's just so much to it. The body craves living in balance. For most, we should be aiming for 7 to 9 hours of restorative sleep per night, if you can get it, or 3 to 4 hours of which is the REM sleep. So, how do we get back on track? It's the question, It may be hard for some. How do we take some actionable steps to get some better sleep? Stop eating after 8 and 9 p.m. Eating more in the evening hours near bedtime may have a negative effect on healthy sleep patterns. Instead of listening to lyrical music to fall asleep, try listening to something more peaceful like nature sounds or the hum of the fan. And I love the fan. I cut that on to sleep every night. It's just soothing. It calms me. Some sounds can have a negative psychological stress response on the body and affect sleep. Use a sleep tracker to observe your sleep patterns and take notice of your other habits during the day and how these may affect your sleep. Implement consistent times for bedtime and wake hours to help set regular sleep patterns, because you can be out of whack sometimes with sleep when you're not adjusting to a certain time. Spray your pillow with calming essential oils such as lavender to calm your mind. Optimize your bedtime bedtime environment, including no television, regulating a cool temperature so you're comfortable, reducing lights, and arranging the furniture so it's more clutter-free for one thing, and it's just a bit more relaxing. Lastly, we must reset our rhythm or our internal psychological clock. And you know how that goes when you're set to something in your mind. If our rhythm is off, it can affect physical, mental, and behavioral changes in the body, including an increase in stress hormones and release other bodily functions. And that's true. You have to rest your mind. You have to get some type of sleep to refresh yourself. And after you kind of get a full night's rest, the next one is exercise. And I can't stress that enough, how physical activity is crucial. It's a crucial way to reduce stress hormones in your body. And how does exercise reduce stress, you might ask? It stimulates the production of endorphins, chemicals in the brain that are the body's natural painkillers. A lot of people don't know that. Endorphins activate opioid receptors in the brain that help reduce discomfort while also elevating feelings of euphoria, happiness, and overall well-being as well. Exercising can also increase brain sensitivity for the hormones, I don't know why I can't get that word right this morning, that relieve feelings of depression and anxiety. A good rule of thumb is to get a moderate to rigorous workout for 5 days a week for at least 30 minutes, if you can get that. It's important to keep your heart rate elevated during this time to maximize blood flow to the muscles so they can receive the oxygen and nutrients you need to get the most out of your workout. I like when, especially if you do it in the mornings, it gives you a lot of energy as well to get through your day. Or, of course, if you're an evening person, it helps you relax after a while. Your body is getting a nice workout, you take a nice bath, and you relax after that, unwind. It's just good for you. It's definitely good to get physical, and then you lose a little weight and you just feel better about yourself. Next is nutrition. They say the secret to healthy diets or a lifestyle is 80% nutrition and 20% exercise. And I don't know how much accuracy this is, but it is safe to say we all need a healthy mix of both of these. You see, the body functions like a well-oiled machine. It needs the right fuel and nutrients to function optimally. Hydration is also an essential element to nutrition. And of course, if making drastic changes to your diet is overwhelming, it's just something like, it's hard for me, start small by either reducing your intake of the foods in question or try substitutions. Like, let's say, no processed sugar. I definitely know that's a hard one. But if sweetener is something you just desperately need, add a little raw honey to your food. Just get it a little flavor, a little sweetness. Then a low carb count each day. Just basically, those people that count their carbs. For example, substituting noodles with veggie spirals and other alternatives to that. Reduce fruit intake to berries and citrus only, because sometimes other fruits are high in carbs and sugar. If you're trying to, eliminate a lot of that, you may need to even think about the fruits that you put into your body as well, if you take fruits. Cut down to 12 ounces of coffee per day and switch to a non-dairy add-in such as coconut creamer or oat milk. Also, as well as add spearmint to some reusable water bottles to make staying hydrated a little bit more fun. It kind of gives a nice little taste, a little refreshing drink a little bit if you add a little spearmint to it. And of course, not sure where to start with that. Sometimes you may have to go work with a nutritionist or a functional medicine doctor that can kind of help you find specific foods, especially if you have some allergens, that you have an intolerance or an inflammation in your body that kind of causes some things. They will help find you a better routine that works best for you, because not everybody can eat the same things. Mindfulness meditation. The practice of mindfulness meditation is about creating strength of willpower and liberating bad energy. This can be done through breathing, awareness of the mind and body, as well as muscle and body relaxation. Meditation helps our sympathetic nervous system, which is in charge of rest. However, sitting with ourselves and quieting the mind is not easy, especially for a lot of people that are just always on the go. Mindful listening takes practice. Our minds are constantly chattering, filling with to-do lists and relentlessly wandering off. Definitely. All of this daydreaming takes place in the default network of the brain, or our restful brain. And it doesn't sound very restful, does it? You see, our executive network activates for more task-oriented things like work, school, and problem solving, and it is easily exhausted. Our default network ideally will allow our mind to rest when the executive network is off. So you're just always constantly going and thinking. Shut it down. Therefore, we need to find true rest and less daydreaming when our default network is activated. So good meditation involves maintaining attention on our immediate experience so that our default network can find rest and not drift away with distractions. Mindfulness meditation also allows us to access a clear flow of energy between the mind and body and unleash things in our subconscious programming that may be hindering us from being our most woke, quote unquote, selves, and rewire our brains for success. When you are able to master meditation, you are really mastering your life. And here are a few tips for mindfulness meditation. First, make it a priority. It is easiest when you first start the day before the normal routine kicks in. Early in the morning is always the best times, as well as right before bed to assist with a restful night's sleep. Find or create a space where you feel good energy, free from distractions. Start with at least 5 minutes of undisturbed, quiet meditation. And of course, as you master 5 minutes, gradually increase your time as much as you can make it. Venture outside into some nature and experience the sights and sounds it provides. Nature therapy is an incredible resource for calming the mind and body. The next is your mental health. Our body naturally wants to revert to a space of living in balance. When we are not addressing the root problems of our depression, anxiety, shame, or trauma, the cycle will always continue and keep us unbalanced. The first way to take hold of our mental health issues is to recognize the patterns and symptoms. It is always recommended to seek help from a licensed therapist who can help you through these struggles, but some people may not have the tools and access to one. Journaling or stream of consciousness is another amazing tool for processing our emotions. Start with evaluating the triggering event, specific feelings about that event, and move into a deeper layer of what those feelings mean to you and why they may be triggering you. Nature therapy is also highly recommended, as it reduces stress hormones and symptoms of depression, regulates our heart rate, and gets us back to stasis. In fact, nature therapy can be more successful than traditional therapy and medication by using a variety of techniques to improve mental health, specifically through immersing our senses within nature. Awareness is the key element to addressing mental health, and knowing it is nothing to be afraid or ashamed of, as every living human has it. There's nothing wrong with that. Acknowledging and being aware of it is the first step into getting better. And next is healthy relationships. Toxicity breeds toxicity. This can come in the form of family, friendships, workplace co-workers, or bosses and romantic partners. The toxic energy can build up in our bodies in the form of negativity, self-doubt, anxiety, and resentment, just to name a few. So what should we do when toxic relationships hinder us from elevating our own state of well-being? We cut the cord. You let it go. It is 100% valid to unfollow, unfriend, or block people in your life that are taking away your energy. And it is okay that they will likely not understand why you do it. Our relationships inform everything. Our work, sex life, anxiety, life choices, and behavioral patterns. It makes a huge difference who you bring into your life and who you keep around. We are energetically tied to the people we hold closest to us. Does getting off the phone with someone or stepping away from a coffee date leave you more drained than energized? Does someone in your life take away more than they give? These are not helpful people. We tend to get caught up in trying to control these relationships, believing they will change or show up for us when they have no intentions of doing that at all. They will say all the right things to keep you tethered to them, while continuing a cycle of negativity. The hard truth is, no matter how much we love them, keeping these relationships means we are abandoning ourselves the most. Healthy relationships are equally yoked. The people that show up mentally, physically, and energetically. Seek love and connection with those people. The ones that show up, earn, and keep your trust. Heal and grow with you. Protect your energy. It is sacred. And in closing, the mind and body synergy is a universal truth. Chronic pain, illness, depression, and anxiety have all been proven to improve and or heal itself by having a healthy balance of all these practices. Our body truly is a temple. Take care of your friends, yourselves, and friends. With that, just learning to take the time to get your body resetted, your mind as well. Doing those things to feed your mind, body, and soul to where you are feeling better. Go throughout your day in a better way because you're taking care of you first. If we don't take care of this temple, you won't go far because you're keeping the same cycle, and a lot of times it's a bad cycle. You have to refresh it, reset, and start over again if you can. All right, people, that's me with my inspiration of motivation. And I appreciate everybody that's tuned in to me. And hope you take this message well and share it with your friends and drop a comment in the chat. I appreciate everybody that's moved by my message. And until the next time, people, this is Miss Maggie T with Lush Exchange. And I appreciate you guys. Peace.